Okay, this is going to be a video demo of the admission module that's in WITS. In this case, we've got it configured for Idaho for their mental health system. This is also set up to capture substance abuse data. And so what that means is when we first do an admission on this client, in this case is Pebbles Flintstone, we've got to decide if this client is here for mental health only, mental health and substance abuse, co-occurring client, or just substance abuse. And based on what we choose here, we're going to have a different set of required data fields. So if it's just substance abuse, the only data that's going to be required for me is going to be the TEDS data, the standard treatment episode data set, plus the required fields for the state of Idaho that we've configured. So from state to state, when we do a WITS implementation, this ends up looking pretty similar from state to state. TEDS is fairly standard. And there are customizations from state to state, but they're usually 10 to 20% max different between states. So this is going to look a lot like your state, most likely. So we've got this set up here under the activity list. We're in the admission module. We're on the admission profile screen. We see some white fields here that are optional. That's not part of TEDS. We've got some dark yellow fields that are absolutely required, and then some light yellow fields that are required for state reporting. I can save this screen without filling these in, but eventually for them to be considered completed, I've got to go and finish every one of these fields that are light yellow and dark yellow. So take a look at those fields. They're going to look very familiar to you if you've spent a lot of time with the TEDS data. I'm going to scroll through this a little bit, not looking at individual fields too much, but just to show you a familiar set of fields here. Here's the youth screen, all optional in this case. Here's the substance abuse. This is definitely required for TEDS. You have to do a primary substance with severity, with frequency, and with method. We automatically default the method of oral once you select alcohol. So we've got a couple of data checks in there. At what age did the client first use the substance, and we tell you where what other types of entries are valid in the upload of your TEDS data here. So in this case we'll say it was 13, and now I can save that record because I filled in the dark yellow fields. Okay. Does he currently use tobacco? We'll say no. Okay. Now I can go onto the legal screen, say what type of legal status do we have. I can choose multiple here. I could have a 90-day commitment plus a court order for observation and evaluation. So I can pick multiple items off of this pull-down list. Each state also can control a lot of these values here on these are called mover boxes in WITS. Okay. Number of arrests in the lifetime, in the past 12 days, and then in the past 30 days. This is new from NOMS. Okay. Got assessment scores. This is no longer required for TEDS or NOMS, but it's something that if you did a DENS ASI, we're able to load those assessment scores quickly here onto this screen, just so you've got a quick summary of it. Here's your ASAM screen, where you're actually capturing your level of risk for each dimension, as well as your level of care for each dimension. Okay, so these are the real familiar ASAM levels. Here we've got a recommended level of care plus an actual level of care. That's the case where the clinician actually overrides the recommendation, and you can say why you did that along with some comments. In this case, the clinician knows more than software. So there's reasons why you would want to do that, and we allow you to capture those reasons here. Diagnosis is DSM-4 coded on every one of the axes, and then it also is translated into crosswalked, I should say, over to ICD-9. So each one of these can be added. You can edit each one of the axis diagnoses with all of the DSM-4 categories and diagnoses available in here. Okay. And then the final step would be enroll the client in a program. In this case, this client was originally in a long-term residential care for a couple of months, and now they're in an outpatient program for mental health. So they are already enrolled. And the final screen is the treatment team, which we will cover on another video.